Hey guys, good morning. We have a new friend joining in with us from Oman. Her name is Gayathri, and she is doing a lot of different things. And she has actually set a mark with helping out people or kids with disability or who need help. You call it people with kids with autism, kids with dyslexia, kids with Down syndrome. Some of these kids need a lot of help. So what Gayathri does differently is with her foundation, which is 12 years old, she ensures that these kids, a lot of us, feel sympathy or sad when we look at, some of these, health behaviors of these kids. So what she does is she focuses on the positive traits, the strengths the kids have, empower them, train them so that they can become self-sustaining, so that they can take care of their own livelihood, gives this particular training. And she has been doing this with her foundation for the last 12 years. And we would like to hear more about it. So thanks a lot for joining in, Gayathri ji. And this particular episode is sponsored by Vijay Lakshmi Madiseti, Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi. And the reason she is sponsoring this is because she loved this particular story and the work which you're doing. She herself has done a lot of stunts in terms of having a training institute for IT when IT began in Hyderabad, and she was into insurance, and then now she's part of Rotary. So that's one of the reasons she, took charge of sponsoring this particular episode, especially for Gayathri. So thanks a lot for joining in, and maybe you can talk about this passion. Why helping others? I always have these questions. I don't understand why you have this inclination to help others. Why kids with Down syndrome or who are specially abled? Why are you trying to help them out? And how did you come out of creating this awesome structure of making them self-sustainable where they can take care of themselves? So over to you.
Namaste to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Ravi, and many thanks to WurkTV for giving this platform. And I'm really happy to be here and share my thoughts on this particular topic of empowering children with special needs, because that is the only thing which I know I would like to share with you all, my journey. And thanks to Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi for sponsoring this event. My greetings to her. So when I have to tell about my journey, back 12 years back, I never knew such area existed. I was very ignorant about it, and I was working with orphan children and underprivileged children, but this area was very new to me. I bumped into one child with dyslexia. I had to teach her a simple 9th standard social, that too economics. But the problem is I could not teach her. I had done my management, I had done my journalism, I had done my software, I was into that field. But when I knew I could not help that particular child learn the simple economics, that is when I felt, I started questioning myself, what is the use of me studying so much? What is the education? How is this education helping me? I was little sad with that. So then I thought, let me get into this, understand what it is. So that's when I unlearned, relearned all about children with special needs. So what they are, what is a big umbrella here, how they have to do. So I did my psychology. So every time I had a challenge, that is when I explored many courses. There are many people, wonderful people in the world who are coming up and sharing their expertise and sharing their knowledge with others. The only notion behind it, share the knowledge and help children with special needs. That is the only notion. I've come across many wonderful people in the world. So that is when we started learning mutually also. So when I saw a child struggling with the handwriting or the reversal of letters, so made me learn the handwriting specialization in the handwriting thing and behavior. So when I saw some impulsive behavior, why this is occurring, go ahead with learning. I went ahead with learning about the behavior, what causes it. So how do I manage the behavior? So that is when, and sensory issues, their health issues. So I went into yoga. I did my yoga therapy, specializing for children with special needs. So my every focus, my every approach, I always had a motto, twice a year, I should develop my knowledge. Something I should do to develop my knowledge, because I don't want to be stagnant. So, and exploring more, I started doing also more. So once what happened, I was working with children, so I had to choreograph a program with children with special needs. And suddenly, that is just 2 days before the program, one child got massive seizure, and he could not participate. If one child is not there, coordination between the other children will not be there because they don't understand. If a child is missing, how do I stand? They don't understand. I didn't know what to do. It is impossible to train another child in just 2 days. So I didn't know what to do. I pulled in my daughter. She was in grade 11, I think, at that time, my elder daughter. I asked her, Akshay, can you come in? She readily came, and even now she's actually a good dancer, and she's done many programs. But she always says, "Amma, the best performance I ever did, I cherish. I will cherish till my life is this program with these children. I felt so nice, the love and that how I was accepted among them. She felt very happy, and that is was one. She also started working into this field. She's also a special educator now. So then she asked me one question, which again triggered my thoughts. Amma, after 12th, I'll be doing my college and I will start working. What for them? What is in store for them? What are they going to do after their the school life? Is there anything? So when I started probing, I went and visited many NGOs, and I saw the wonderful work each and every NGO they were doing. Commendable work they were all doing, and they were very much willing to share their knowledge also with me, their ideas with me. It is not that they always say, no, we won't share. Now, in this field alone, nobody says like that. So amazing people I met across India, and with all that, I built a curriculum. I built an assessment tool for them, how they have to go about, we have to select a vocation for a child. So the journey started off like that. So a lot of challenges, a lot of failures, but still we learned, we moved ahead. So
It is very difficult to handle, these kids because their behavior is different. You don't know how they react and all that. It takes a lot of science and study to understand them and how to deal with them and let them perform. So truly commendable. It is not easy. I think toughest thing to handle. It's easy to handle an NGO, old age home, I would say orphanage. Some of these things are pretty easy, I think, compared to what you're doing. It's definitely.
thank you, sir. But actually, what I would say is some people use those words like tantrums. He is a very hyper child. So these are the stigma type of words they use, which I don't accept personally. It's a personal thing I don't accept. Why? Because what I see is whatever the child is doing, it's a way of communication. If we think it is a way of communication, we will never say it is an hyperactivity or he is aggressive. We won't be using those words if we know. Nothing. I had one incident I would like to share. One child with cerebral palsy, he gave me one nice shot. One nice shot. But the thing, he was very happy. He was very happy because he did something which he had never done before. He doesn't know the force. He wanted to touch me. That's all. He wanted to show his happiness by touching me. That's it. But he doesn't know how much force he is giving. Yeah. It was a communication. Ma'am, I like you so much. But what it looked is that he is hitting me. Yeah. Never. If we understand that as educators, if we understand that, our approach, our way of seeing will be very different.
True. You have to experience this because one of my friend's kid, neighbor's kid, he had autism, and that is when you actually experience, start seeing him, start talking to him. That is when you start this curiosity comes. What is the solution for this? So even I was like doing some research, I heard when there is an episode which basically talks about, or research talks about, ketosis actually helps people with autism because they're hyperactive and, they have a lot of carbs, which basically results in that hyperactive. You reduce the carbs in a diet, there's a lot of change in the kid. They're much calmer and all that. So some of these studies I could only relate and study after I saw the kid. I knew kids' autism. You see it on news and all that. You cannot relate with this until unless you spend some time with them. And once you spend some time, you really want to find a solution. Is this the way they have to live the entire life, or there is the solution for this? But I like your concept. You're trying to implement yoga, other alternate therapies using which you can actually mold them and ensure that they're living a better life for themselves.
Actually, it is an addiction also, I will say. When there is something, when people say it is not possible and you make it a possible, that happiness is something, it's an extraordinary happiness. When any person, you can make them an achiever. But here people always say, because even I know, no, he can't. Even I have seen mothers also telling, no, he can't. You leave it. This will not work out for him. But I say, no, wait. Let us work. Why you have to stop before we start? And one more child I had in Chennai. Mother was telling, no, he's a non-verbal. And the whole institution also believed he's a non-verbal. Non-verbal is one thing which I really, I don't accept as a yoga therapist. Again, it's my personal, this one. Because we have made people talk. We have made children talk. Only thing we should know how to trigger that exact thing. That exact thing, how we have to trigger. And I showed. And that boy came back and spoke. Every time I used to ask him, what is my name? He'll never say. He will look at me and he'll go. But after 1 year, then he improved a lot because we also trained the parents. Then when I went back to Chennai, his auntie said, Gayathri, you have to come and see him. Then I went to his place and he came and told, Gayathri teacher, how are you?
Oh my God.
I was in the world. That was the first time, because almost 2 years I was behind him to tell my name and he never told. He was deliberate, he was not telling. It is only thing they choose not to talk. I won't say they are non-verbal, they choose not to talk. Even recently, after 14 years, a child started talking. But the mother worked. Parents, they worked. They worked a lot. Whatever I taught them, I was telling you do this, because it's a lot of combination. It is not just yoga. It is a yoga with sensory and reflex. All this put together, we used to create a curriculum and say, do this. Even when we do vocations, we use certain, it is not just teaching skills. We use certain perfumes to stimulate their speech.
So what is the story behind, teaching the parents? Is it in the same location? Is there a reason behind teaching the parents where they can see and learn? Or
parents, when it comes to parents, no, initially I don't allow parents when I teach children. Why? Because they see perfection, which I don't see.
Okay.
I allow them to do mistakes so that from mistakes they learn.
Okay.
But for parents, I respect them, I respect their feelings, but they want everything perfect. So they get, excited. They'll get, no, you should not do like this. They will use the negative words. We never use the negative words. Don't do it. You are like this. We never use it. Why don't you be like this? Why can't you stop here? So we always use the positive type of statements. Never say you are wrong, you didn't do properly. We never use that. But parents, I don't blame them. For that excitement, when they want the child to learn, they use that. So initially, I never allow. I always ensure they stay separately, they stay away. But when the child completes around 60% or 70% of that skill development, I make it a point that parents enter it. Parents start learning along with the child. So what happens is, when the child has already got 60% knowledge, when the parents are doing, they definitely do mistake. So for me, another thing is the parents will not comment on children, and the children will be so happy that they are doing mistake and I'm doing it right. Their self-esteem also improves. And another main thing is, parents should know the skill of the children. Even I will say siblings, brothers or sisters, I would always suggest they should also learn, because to carry it forward. How long they can't be dependent on a person or an institution. It should be they should become independent. We are there always to support. Any support we are there to give. Fine, but my ultimate is they should be independent. They should move out and fly away. So that is our notion.
So being from Tamil Nadu, I mean, instead of just focusing on one particular city or one particular state, why did you decide to scale up? Why do you want to do it for the entire India, or including the location where you're based out of right now?
Actually, I wanted to start it in Chennai. That is the reason why, and I wanted to implement the best practices which I had learned from many people, many NGOs, many individuals who all shared with me the best practices have been put together, and which I wanted to start it in Chennai. And it was 100% sponsored by my husband. For me, my husband is my sponsor. So, and we wanted to give it completely a free thing for children, because already parents have a burden of their medical and other expenses. So this one thing we wanted to give it completely free for them. But what happened, my family demanded I come back to Muscat. Because we didn't want this each one in one place, so I had to move back to Muscat. So I was little disappointed. Though I registered, I wanted to start. Everything was ready. Almost many instruments also we have purchased. But I was a bit disappointed. Again, that is everything, the challenge, whatever failure I come across, it's only for 1 or 2 days maximum. Then immediately I see what next, how I can go next. Everything, I again say everything happens for good. If I had started in Chennai, I would have been only in Chennai. But now what happened, since I'm in Oman, I go to every place. Whoever is asking me to help them with startup of a vocational center, we go there, we teach them, we help maximum, and we ensure that they start and they start doing it.
So if there is, if there is a center or a shelter or a location or an NGO which is helping kids with autism or special needs, can they connect with you? Can they imbibe or adopt some of the curriculum which you're choosing, or you're more like you like that to be like patented? This is Gayathri's signature or the foundation signature. This is only if they tie up with us. What's your take on it? Or they're free to use or connect with you?
Completely free to use. Only thing, they have to work with ethics and values. That's all. That is the only criteria we see. That they have to pick. When they call in the tunnel, they had called me in Kochi. So we gave 2 days training there. So what we mainly did is we helped them to understand what an organization is actually. If you say a vocational center, what it is, what all the things it has to cater to, and what all it should have, and how they should start. Vocations, when I take, there are thousands of vocations. I cannot be teaching thousands of vocations. Of course, I can help them with few vocations, but actually, if you speak, there are thousands of vocations. But the main thing is the organization structure, the assessment, and all that. I give away everything. Whatever I have done, I give away. In fact, I say if you can modify and add even more better practices, go ahead and do it. We have nothing like it is only Gayathris or mine or nothing. Only thing we see is maximum children get benefited. We want to see maximum success stories.
Now, till now we've been talking around, the foundation or, the kids or the, location where all these kids are getting trained. As a common man, if, I or, all the audience who are seeing this particular thing, how can we contribute to some of these things? Like, I'm in Hyderabad, you're in Oman. I am an individual. I can maybe, go once in a month and, spend some time with these particular kids, or like, a couple of times in a year or once in a year. So can we, simple people, can also get some training so that we can contribute to the, nearest organization who needs help? Because obviously they're always seeing the same faces and all the same trainers, and I'm sure they'll have, resource crunch where, you don't have a lot of people who are, trained on this. So do you have anything for, people like us who have the will to, do something, but we don't know what to do? Instead of just going and giving chocolates, can we do something which will add value?
Opportunity. I request the community to to come in and give more opportunities. To give an example on this particular topic, thank you for asking this, because the role of community is very, very important in this. In Oman, I'm sorry, I cannot name any organization, but I would like to share. There are few very good organizations who continuously, every year, they'll give me an opportunity, and those opportunity will be a very, very challenging opportunity. It will make me think, will I be able to do this? So but the word, I never say no. That no is the word I never use. So we'll go ahead how best we can do it. So it is because of that, when they give us opportunity. For example, one of the organization gave me an opportunity. They said, can your children make 2000 posters, a digital printed posters for them? 2000 means, what is the amount of work behind the repetitive work? When there is a repetitive work, the child learns better. Rather than doing one or two or three, the learning doesn't happen to that level. But when there is a repetition of work, the child really learns a lot. So it was 2000. So I took them to industry. To an industry where they were using the CNG machines. I don't know how to operate, but again I had requested those people to teach my children, and they were very much willing. And it was a beautiful, it was a workshop, and they were standing in the typical costumes, and they were feeling so proud. They did an awesome job with that CNG machines, how to fine tune that wooden pieces, how to make it smooth. And then we took them to the digital printing. Again, we had a tie-up. We had told them, these are the children who will be coming. Little bit they were scared, but they said, don't get scared. They are also human beings. That's all. There's nothing to get scared. But ultimately, what happened? After a few minutes, they started enjoying together. And it was a very beautiful session we had, very, very beautiful session. And after that, we had a packaging session. So much of learning. How it came? It came because of community.
So
community
after all these, memorable moments, when they're enjoying and, they're like working together. So do you capture and post it somewhere?
Yes, with their permission, of course.
Yes.
Because that has to be respected always. So I take permission even prior to that. Is that okay? Because we have to respect the privacy of the children, and we have to respect the parents also. So we do take it. It's a memorable. Every time it's a memorable. Every year I should say, it's a memorable 2-3 months of continuous training. And we have some Toastmasters here. Toastmasters Club. They gave a constant opportunities. I won't call it a business at all, because money doesn't play anything. With that money, nothing we are going to do. But the opportunity, the learning opportunity, what they give, I really respect those organizations a lot. And I wish even in India it happens.
So any of the kids come back and say, Gayathri auntie, how many likes did I get for my post?
They are not worried about it. Frankly speaking, they are not worried about it. What makes them happy is to see the final product. When they see the final product, when they know that they did it, that sense of achievement, amazing it is for them. They are not worried about the social media, what is happening. That all humans, that are we people only behind it. They are divine people. They have another side of happiness.
Yeah, I like the word divine people. Yeah,
Yes.
Sometimes it really, sometimes you just want to go offline and not think of some of these things. But okay, now we have some rapid fire questions. So we've talked a lot about the subject now. So if you want to know more about Gayathri, so describe yourself in 3 words, which has nothing to do with NGO, sympathy, humility. No. So you have to choose some things which we are not aware of.
Persistent, resilient, I should say. People know me with that, very adamant. 3. So I never, if I on something, I never go back. If I see I have to do it, I will finish it. It's never go back. So these are the 3 words. Everybody will agree. Very adamant, resilient, because I come back, I never accepted failure so fast. I learned from my failures and very persistent. Until I finish a job, I won't leave it.
Good one. So, what is the most exciting or the tough job? You said you like challenges, which are opportunities which come from the community. So, what is the toughest thing which you've done or your team has done?
The toughest is accepting, to some extent, we could achieve bringing a vocational center in Oman. Actually speaking, in Oman, people are very good, very, very nice people I found. But what impression I got initially is the statement used is, Gayathri, we have done everything. You can't achieve what we couldn't. So don't think of all this. This was the statement people used. You think we have not done. So this was a very demotivating statement. So when the people say you can't do it, I can't take it. That gives me a push. I always thank those people who say that I can't do it, because that makes me do it. I'm that kind of a person. I don't leave it. So that has happened now, because it has been agreed now. Only thing we are waiting for the COVID to get over. So it should happen. It's almost done, accepted, but that was the biggest thing. It's almost 5 years of 5 years of, I don't know, I can't use the word fight, but it was a struggle to make them understand that this is possible. Even children with special needs can achieve. And I thank the parents for having that trust in me.
So, what is that last thing that you learned, something new about autism? Like I was telling about some of the experiments which really work on, autism kids or, Down syndrome. What is that thing which, most of the people are not aware of or parents are not aware of? What is that research which really worked for you?
The research, if I tell, the assessment. The assessment tool that, because this almost 1.5 years I was working only on that. Rather than attending any training, this 1.5 years I was focusing more on building the assessment tool. That assessment tool is one which will really guide any child with special needs in any umbrella to select their career, to select their future, be it academic and non-academic, both. So that actually, when working, it gave me a lot of learning, and a lot of thought process was involved. It was a very good journey, I should say. That 1 year of work into this was a good journey, because I had to go to many NGOs. It was not, again I will say, it is a contribution of many people. I don't claim it at all.
So you're located in Oman, and some of your centers are here in Hyderabad. So there's a lot of travel which is involved. So how do you manage that? Do you really enjoy this travel, meeting people, or you tend to manage it remotely? And what do you believe with respect to having the team who's driving some of these things for you remotely?
One, my social media is, before that I will say, my social media, I rely on that very much. That is a big communication method for me I use. And when people call me, seeing the social media, when people call me, I always say money or anything should not be a barrier for me to travel. So I have to thank my husband in this, because he takes care of my safety, my travel, and everything. As I told you, he's my sponsor. So he sponsors all my programs and everything. So he ensures my safety and everything. So I have no worries, because he knows people around. So he will ensure. So the safety is not an issue. I travel. I don't mind. So I go, and I don't keep that as a barrier, money or my travel as a barrier to share my knowledge.
So does he also involve in the strategy part of the foundation, guide you in terms of strategy, where you're going wrong, what changes, or he completely gives you a free hand? Gayathri, this is yours, you manage it. What's his style?
No, it's a family venture. I won't tell even my husband. I tell my children also, both my daughters also, I should say. So whatever we do, it is a family venture only. It's not Gayathri again. So even my younger daughter, she helps a lot in my work. A lot, I should say, beyond her age and capacity. Even when she had to do her board exam, she was helping other children. So they never say, no, I have my board exam, I have my tuition, I have my work. They never say that. Both my daughters for that, and even my husband. It's a family venture. So we all sit together, we discuss together we'll see how to go ahead, what to do, what not to do. It will be a brainstorming. So in my family, we keep everything transparent. So that is, my family is my biggest strength.
Super. It's really nice. Some of these initiatives which are inspiring, and it's fulfilling. Now everybody wants to contribute, saying that okay, I'll do this particular part. I'll take care of this. Good, and God bless the entire family for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Your best moments in life till date. Best moment which you will always relish.
Best moment was when I got the approval done in Oman. So that was one of the best moment. And even before that, when one of the child with Down syndrome in Oman, his name is Abdullah. So when he started his business, that was the ultimate for me. But we had lot of challenges, and I had lot of good friends also who helped me so much in this, because there were places I got stuck. I didn't know how to proceed because Oman is not my country. I didn't know the rules. So they were the people who guided me, the local people. Very good friends I had, and when that happened, that inaugural happened in a large scale. Many top people had come, dignitaries had come. So that moment, the happiness which I saw in that boy's mother's eyes, that was the best moment in my life.
Super. So what is the strangest hidden talent Gayathri has, which we are not aware of?
Hidden talent. There is nothing like hidden talent, but only thing people, when they see me first, they think I'm very soft and she's very vulnerable. They have that misconception. I don't know why they have that, but later when they come to know, oh my God, she's so adamant and persistent, they think why ever we got with her. Because for me, when it comes to children with special needs, if it is right, ethical, it has to go. That's it. So they'll see my other side then, how persistent I am.
Okay, this is the last question. This is not a rewarding career, right? You cannot talk about what is the CTC you earn. You cannot talk about the salary which you make at the end of the month. You cannot really invest or do stuff. Then what's rewarding in doing some of these activities?
Rewarding? I'm sorry to say, it is a high rewarding career, I should say. The highest I can say. Not money can never bring all happiness in life. That we have to accept it. Then only the rich people can be happy. That can never go. But the happiness what you get here, when even in a couple of schools where I had worked, when children were thrown out because of their inability to perform, because of their disability level, and you make those children an achiever, getting the highest in school. They have got awards in the school for their best performance, for the toppers. Children who were thrown out for their academic performance. Imagine, sir, they are getting the highest and the best, the award for their highest performance. That is the reward. And the best reward I will say is when children store my name as mom in their mobile. They don't store as Gayathri teacher or Gayathri auntie. They store it as mom. I had a student who called me from Kerala and he was talking in Malayalam. I said, now can you stop it? I don't understand Malayalam to that extent. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I had stored your number as mom and I was calling my mother and I thought I was talking to her. So can an award be bigger than this, being a mother of so many children? I feel that is the biggest award I can ever have. And I always say I'm a proud mother of many, many children across the world.
Super. Talking about the awards, congratulations on the recent award that you received. So do you want to talk about it? How that happened?
How that happened was actually I got they offered me. And I have a principle that I will not accept any award. So I rejected it very politely. giving due respects. But they came back and they said, no, we insist you have to take it up. So then my husband told me, my children told me, don't be so rude. You should learn to be accept others also. I said it's not about rudeness, but it is like it. I have my principle and policy. I'm very particular in that. I don't go for any nomination or any award. I have it very particular in that. I'm very, very particular in that. I don't say I did this, I did this, I did this. I don't make that list. I did. I enjoyed that happiness. It's finished. Fine.
Yeah, that's nice of you. But what happens is when you get awarded, you get published. Story reaches much, to a larger audience. A larger audience get to hear your story, why she got an award, what is she into. They dig down and then they, see the cause which you're working on. They like it. They'll try to do something in their own capacity. Out of a lack of people, even one person, who liked your story and want to replicate, that's a success which is getting replicated. So,
I agree to you 100% in this, because this was the same dialogue my elder daughter told me. She said, Amma, this is what it is. People should know. Same thing, what you told, she told me. She said, go ahead.
Super. With all this experience, Gayathri, if you become the chief minister, it doesn't matter which state or Oman, what are the positive reforms you would bring in?
The one which I would really love to do is request as a chief minister, I'll ensure that all the schools in my capacity has an inclusive setup. Little sad part is not all schools implement the inclusive setup. So because of their challenges. So as a CM, I will ensure what are the two challenges. One is finance and other is a resource. So as a chief minister, if I'm able to give that, the financial support and the resource support, I will insist all schools to have the inclusive setup and never reject a child with special needs. This is one. And every district should have a vocational setup. Parents should not run around with their child. So every district should have an inclusive setup, and that inclusive setup should have a curriculum like how the other schools are having, how CBSE or state board they are all having. Even a vocational center should have a curriculum, because it is like every NGO has their own pattern of doing, but it should all be brought under a proper curriculum and a framework. So this I will do. And the third important thing is certification. Children with special needs who are learning the skill development or the vocations should be certified. They should get the certificate for whatever they are learning. And the last one, I would request the organizations which are coming under my control to include them in their job. They should give job opportunities. At least 2.5% they should give. And one more thing which I would write, my husband was working for Reserve Bank of India. So I would request Reserve Bank to give them loan under subsidy rate to start up something like how Abdullah has started here. Like that, I wish if children in India also start up something, bank has to give them thing. This I will really request. I am requesting actually, even now I'm requesting.
Super initiatives. I agree with you. You have to make them sustainable. You have to basically train them and ensure that you make them sustainable. And I completely agree with you with respect to how they can, contribute. The schools can contribute. Even every school, I see a lot of difficulties. One of my relative has a challenge. The kid has a challenge. The mom has to basically. Husband is obviously working. The father is working. Mom has to basically travel for like 2 hours or 3 hours in traffic to, take the kid to a vocational center or somewhere where this training is done, and then bring them back. Can every school contribute one room, which is dedicated for vocational training, and the NGO or whoever it is, all you need to provide is one room which is dedicated for this, and some other organization is running it, utilizing that particular space. It is also very important that the kids don't feel that they are in a different place, they are isolated, only living around people, kids who have similar issues. What if they, the same school, a large school, one room is for them. They also see other kids doing other stuff, playing around. They're, inquisitive to, do stuff. Can I also play like them? Can I also play cricket like them? Can I also play football like them? See, when you see positivity around, they also have the inclination that I should also try doing these things. Maybe I'm not capable today, but let me at least get trained and, do some of these things. I think some of these thoughts which you have are like really awesome and should be done. Whether you become the CM or not, I think you should have people who are like-minded to drive these activities. Really useful, and we need it. All the parents need it there. All those kids need it there.
Exactly. Even the other children will understand. They will understand the challenges behind. That will be an inclusive approach. It is, I always say we live in one world. It is not that I am from Chennai or I'm from India, you are from another country. No, we all live in one world only, and we are all called humans. After that only we have our nationalities, then man, woman, everything comes later. But first we are all humans. That's all. So it's like someone suffering in our next door, we should not keep quiet.
I completely agree.
I'm waiting for that day.
It will come. It will surely come. So you just have to have the right team, which is like-minded and want to drive this. So thanks a lot, Gayathri, for joining in this particular show. Really wonderful, talking to you. I like the way you've set your standards. You're expanding in what you're doing, not only in Chennai but across India and also in Oman. And I really like somebody is put a flag in Oman, Indian who's doing something different, and people over there are appreciating. So it takes. I mean, some other country is appreciating your work. That means you've done something remarkably well, and they feel a need for it. I wish the entire foundation, your entire family, to set this example in every country, because this challenge is there across all the countries. So thank you again, and thank you, Vijayalakshmi Madishetty, for sponsoring this particular show, and for you taking this particular time out from Oman and joining our show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Ravi sir and WurkTV, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. And again, I have to thank Ms. Vijayalakshmi to be a part of this. And I would like to thank all people who had come in my life, shared their knowledge, and made a Gayathri like this. I take this opportunity to thank everyone here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice meeting you, and lots of blessings and regards to your family too.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, friends. Do connect with Gayathri and her foundation, and check out what she is doing. Every appreciation, every like makes a difference for the foundation. Kids might not be very keen in looking at the likes, but yeah, as a foundation, they really get motivated when they get inspired or motivated by all of you. So do follow the foundation. We'll share the links below. Thank you, friends. Have a great day.